Welcome back. It's a chance to watch local artists in the upcoming musical Sunday in the Park with George.
The fall production is put on by the Jacob Ball Wish Fund, which goes back into supporting our community. Joining us this morning, we have Executive Director Tiffany Ball and actor Patrick Lydekin, who is playing George. Thank you both so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So before we get into the details of the show, what is the Jacob Ball Wish Fund and how was it established?
So Jacob was my son. He passed away in 2013. He was sick from birth, but as he passed away, he had the most beautiful life and spread so much beautiful joy and spirit through his life. He never spoke a word, but just taught a lot of us about how to be better people and how to do better things. And so what we decided is that we would continue to spread his joy for him. And so we established this Jacob Ball Wish Fund about, just being joyful and living a joyful life.
Now, this program provides things for educators that are in the field of special needs, schools that need specific things for each student. I mean, every student universally is going to be different and have different needs and challenges that they face. And it's going to help them. What was your son's need that may have inspired this idea to help other children in the same situation?
So Jacob never spoke. He didn't walk until he was almost 4. And so he needed a lot of extra care. He needed, he needed sensory things. He went to Kays Elementary School and then went to Glenwood Leadership Academy. And he had these magic sticks. And when he would get upset, he would grab onto these sticks and just rub them together in his hands. And that would keep him kind of, centered in his work. And he had to have an iPad to communicate. So, and we have funded an iPad for a student that needed help communication.
So simple tools could help out his individual need.
Absolutely. He was autistic and he had epilepsy and he had a bad heart and all kinds of things. But but like I say, he was just this beautiful human, and he taught me how to be a better, stronger person. And he taught me, he wasn't supposed to live past 2 and he got to 12. So, we really feel blessed with who he was and what he taught us, how he taught us to be better people.
And since then, Jacob has inspired about 1,000 other kids to receive other apparatuses, tools, different items that would help them in the classroom too.
Absolutely. So we have funded all kinds of wishes. We fund sensory rooms. So this is another one of those tactile things. So kids can go into their classrooms, be in their classrooms, but go into this separate space and get some sensory overload, undo that sensory craziness that they have in their classrooms with different kind of lighting and different chairs, sensory chairs that they can maybe bounce in or those kinds of things. We funded a wish for a teacher to take their kids to the grocery store, high school kids, take their kids to the grocery store to learn how to be living in society, ride a city bus. So we've just, every kind of thing are the things that we help support.
And I love it. Tiffany, I know you're heavily involved in the theater community here. I've seen several of these shows. Fantastic. Local artist, very professionally done. And that brings us to you, Patrick. Sunday in the Park with George. What is it about for folks that may never have seen it? And give us a little background. I mean, you're George.
Yes.
So, what does that mean for your character?
Sunday in the Park with George is an interesting show that kind of follows a fictional version of Georges Seurat, who painted the famous pointillism painting, Sunday in the Park and the island of La Grande Jatte. And it's following him as he kind of watches the different people go through the park and through their lives and kind of observing and drawing and painting. But it's a show very much about the passion that he has and conflicting passions and sometimes the sacrifices you have to make in your life and the choices you have to make because of what you're going after and trying to do. It's a very interesting and kind of difficult show to watch from that perspective because everyone has that line of which they're willing to sacrifice, and not everyone's going to find that same line. So people watching it, there's a sense of you can see a little bit of Georging yourself, but how much of it is there. It's fun. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's
And
really
I know
hard.
this is a lot of local artists involved in this. How many people does it take to put on a show like this?
Ooh, that's more of a
Like
how many?
15 people in the cast, and then we have maybe 13, 14 people in our orchestra.
And is it volunteer-based?
All volunteers.
Wow.
We don't pay anybody. Our director comes to us from Chicago, and so, but he's been on Broadway and all these things. His name is Robert Hunt, but but everybody else is local. All of our strings in our orchestra this year are students in the EVSC, so we're really proud of that. So that's really a special thing for them. So we're just, it's just all volunteer, and like the cast and the crew and the orchestra, and we just all kind of we call ourselves the Jacob family, because we have just all kind of come together and
'Cause you are.
we become a
That's exactly
family.
what you
And hopefully a lot of funds are raised from the show itself, but are there families out there, maybe an educator out there that needs specific needs, and how do they reach out to you?
So if they go to the Jacobs with an S, wish.org, that's our website, and you can, get on there and find out about how to fund a wish. You can make a donation to the fund to fund the wish, or you can request a wish, and that's on the website.
And Patrick, what has auditions been like? Rehearsals, auditions, that process? Because the show, we'll have the details in a minute, is opening nights tomorrow. So what has that been like for you to be a part of that?
Sondheim is a beast as far as music is concerned.
Yes.
For the fact that this is all volunteers, all local people, everyone's very involved with a lot of things. So especially as we got to the end of the process and everyone can really focus, it's been pretty much every day. For many hours a day. I'm lucky enough to work in the same building that we're doing it in with Tiffany, so I spend a lot of extra time just in the theater walking as much as we need to. It's kind of all hands on deck at this point to make it all come together at the end.
Absolutely. And I know this is no tickets required.
Correct.
It's donation based, which is fantastic. But we have a full screen. Tiffany, if you can give us the details of when the performances are, what time, and where they'll be at.
So the show is tomorrow night, Wednesday, October 16th, and Thursday, October 17th at 7:30 at the Academy for Innovative Studies, which is the Old North High School on Stringtown and Diamond Avenue. Like Megan said, no tickets are required, and we just ask that you come and make a donation to the Jacob Wish Fund so we can help continue to support special education in our schools and our community.
Absolutely. Fantastic performances. I'm telling you guys. You guys do such a great job.
Thank you so much.
Every year. Wonderful stuff. Break a leg tomorrow night, and it's going to be great. We thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.